Hello everybody out there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Edward, aka Proghat. Today I'm going to do a video. It's a contest entry for Steve, All the World's a Stage. And it is a contest involving 3 Bob Dylan songs and 3 cover, or what I call, 3 cover versions of groups or artists you like that covers a Bob Dylan song. Whoa, it took me a while to get that said. And then share a story about our mothers. So, let me begin. One of the ones that I've chosen is Bob Dylan's Dream from his album Free Willin' Bob Dylan. And I have not been able to, but I've been satisfied with just having a CD copy of this album. It's one of my favorites. And the group or artist that I like that does a version of Bob Dylan's Dream is Peter, Paul, and Mary, which I recently picked up on vinyl. I really like their version of the song. And if I remember right, it's a little bit shorter than Bob Dylan's version. So there's number one. Number two, it's from this album, Bob Dylan Highway 61 Revisited. And it is one of his big hits, Like a Rolling Stone. Now, the band that I like that does a version of it is on here, Rolling Stone Stripped. I love the live version of Like a Rolling Stone. It really has, it's really energetic and just a really good cover version of that song. Like a Rolling Stone by the Rolling Stones. The third one is from one of my favorite albums of Bob Dylan, and that's Another Side of Bob Dylan. And it is the song My Back Pages, which is on side 2, the second song, after the Motorcycle Nightmare song. The Byrds. I love their version of My Back Pages. It's from their album, Younger Than Yesterday. I was almost going to say Yesterday and Today, but that's a Beatles album. But yeah, I love the Byrds version of that song on here, where you get some cool bonus tracks. Okay, so let me share a story of my mother, which has to do with Bob Dylan records. Now, my mother's passed away a couple of years ago from the COVID, and it's been really, really hard because you always think your parents are there, but you can't call and just to check in and say, hello, Mom, how are you doing? And so every Mother's Day and just about every day it gets a little bit tough because I'll listen to some music and it reminds me of her, or something comes to my mind that she would always get after me about. And one of my favorite things is that she got after me about listening to too much Jimi Hendrix music. I guess she grew up in a generation, if you did something too much or something, or even if you laughed a lot, which is superstition to me, but that it was bad. But I loved her. I loved her, and I miss her greatly. And now let me get to the Bob Dylan part. When I had my first stereo, my mom used to work for IBM. And she came home one day and she says, this weekend, I'm going to take you to one of my co-workers' house, one of her friends. She's given up all her records and she offered them to me, but I want you to have them. And I was like, cool. And so I couldn't wait. And I was really excited. I didn't know what the records were. And I think she told me if she didn't remember either. So anyway, so we pull up to her co-worker. She lived in an apartment, and she came out with 2 pretty nice stacks of records. And I loaded them up, and when I couldn't wait to get home, and so we unloaded them, and I finally got to go through them. And in that stack were Bob Dylan albums. There was like Bob Dylan and the Band Live. There was Blonde on Blonde. Oh, Desire. There was, oh, I can't even remember half the records there. And there were quite a few, along with the Eagles, Joan Baez. And that's all I can remember is just those three artists. But it was really cool to get Bob Dylan records. And it seemed like it was more of the later period of his, not so much of his earlier 60s stuff. And I really appreciate my mom mentioning me to a coworker that I would be glad to get those records. So that was very, very sweet. I took that as a early Christmas gift from her. There you have it, folks. There's my contest entry, a little short story of my mom. Rest in peace, Mom. I still, a lot of times she's here with me, you know. But anyway, to all the mothers, I know it's past already. I hope all of the mothers out there had a very nice, happy Mother's Day. They deserve it. Take care, everybody.